Hiya and welcome back. I'm back in Shrewsbury for part 2 of the Shrewsbury Shuts tour. So yeah, I'm just going to do the second half of this. You can do it all in one, but I filmed quite a bit because there's quite a lot of interesting stuff to see. So we'll head up back and continue on this Shuts tour. So we've just turned off Dogpole, and this shaft we've just gone down doesn't actually have a name. As you can see, there's some beautiful buildings. So this beautiful building here in St Altman's Square, which looks Tudor, is the old vicarage, but it's actually Victorian. And this is St Altman's Church, which is apparently supposed to be very haunted. Some say by a demonic spirit. So the lovely timber frame building that I've just walked around is the Bear Steps and Bear Steps Cafe. So it was named after the nearby Bear Inn. It's now the Civic Society headquarters and Bear Steps Cafe. It was restored at the end of the 1960s when many other medieval buildings were being demolished. So just come down Bear Steps onto Fish Street, which is closed off at the moment because they're doing some work on the building there. And this white building here was the Bear Inn. But we're going to follow this round here to go up to Butcher Row. So this is Butcher Row. There were 15 butcher's shops over here in 1828, and Abbott's house, which is in front of me, still retains some of its meat hooks and ancient shop fronts. So we're just outside what's known as the 70 Steps, and as you can see it's closed due to misuse. So this is the last remaining shut of the 4 that used to link Pride Hill to the meadows at the bottom of the slope beyond the town wall. When the shopping centre was built, the shut was incorporated, providing a long, dark and uninviting descent, which we do not recommend. Give that a miss, even if it was open. Come up Castle Street, and this is Castle Court. So the houses and flats on the left were converted from a primitive Methodist chapel sold in 1957 for £2,000, and those on the right were once part of the old county jail, which gave rise to its old name, House of Correction Shut. This shut provides a shortcut to the bus station. So that's where you go down to the bus station. We won't go down there. But I don't know if you could actually see this building here was a Methodist chapel. It still retains its shape. Again, I never knew that was there. So we're now in School Gardens, and in front of me is the library, which was the original site of Shrewsbury School. So the initials up here, SB, are those of Samuel Butler, headmaster of the school when Charles Darwin was a pupil. Again, fantastic architecture. Right, so I'm just coming up Castle Street now, and I think this building here where H&M is where Woolworths used to be. John Menzies was where W.H. Smith and the post office is now. Castle Street. This is St Mary's Shut, one of the narrowest shuts there is. So we come out into this car park by St Mary's Church, and we go down this little bit here. This tiny little bit. This is probably the narrowest in England, with a minimum width of 56 centimetres. Old maps show the shut closed in by buildings throughout its length, and in 1899 it contained a shop and 6 freehold cottages. The tale tells of a fat landlord who would trick strangers into racing him to Castle Street, but would set off first, then pop into the shut, block it with his bolt, and then stroll to the end to win. It is very narrow. So this is the Parade shopping centre that was the old Royal Shrewsbury Hospital.
They let you have it there standing for a week behind the cliff.
So this is St Mary's Court. I'm just walking down. So we just crossed over St Mary's Street, and this is Church Street that we're going down, with the Loggerheads pub there, and this is the famous Prince Rupert Hotel, supposedly very haunted. And we've got St Altman's again at the bottom here. So this shut here that goes past St Julian's and St Julian's graveyard doesn't really have a name. They call it St Julian's Shut. There's the graveyard of St Julian's, and we're going to come down these steps and we're coming back onto High Street, or is it Wyckoff? I never know where one ends and one starts. this is Golden Cross Passage. So this shut had connections with old St Chad's Church, and the stone doorway may be a relic from the very old building. So that's the Golden Cross pub, reputed to be the oldest pub in Shrewsbury. And out the little window there above the archway is supposed to be seen a monk that comes out, because there used to be a passageway from the pub over to the old St Chad's.
The girl that went up to she went up to the camera stand and played the camera and screaming someone down.
So this is Peacock Passage, named after another pub that used to be here. And we've literally come straight across into Bank Passage. So Bank Passage is named after a bank which stood on the High Street entrance. There we go, so Bank Passage has brought us out into Fish Street. So I'm just going to go down Grope Lane. As you can see, it's quite a narrow, dark lane, even during the day. Now the name Grope comes from shortening of the name Grope Cunt Lane. We know that's where it comes from, as there are others around the country, and as in Shrewsbury there are other street names named after professions like Butcher Row, Fish Street, Milk Street. So Grope Lane comes from where the prostitutes used to be, where you used to come for a grope, so to speak, and it's one of the only few in the country to retain its name. Other streets around the country have renamed their streets to more appropriate. A lot of people think that grope derives from grape, but it doesn't. And it's quite interesting, a lot of these grope lanes were in the vicinities of churches or religious buildings. So I'm saying nothing. And we're back in the square by the market hall, and I shall just go back round to the museum where we started. Right, I've just got back to the car. So that is the Shrewsbury Shuts tour. Really fascinating. I'm from Shrewsbury. I was born in Shrewsbury. I lived in Shrewsbury for a few years of my life. And there's parts I had never seen before, so that was really, really interesting. Get a chance to do it. The leaflet is £2 from the shop in the museum in the square. And yeah, so I'll definitely do it again. I might even do it at night.